This week's issue features the Louisiana school teacher who married Gypsy-Rose Blanchard while incarcerated in 2022, telling his side of the couple's divorce tale. Rian Anderson is still in shock following Gypsy-Rose Blanchard's abrupt divorce. The 38-year-old Louisiana schoolteacher, who will be featured in Lifetime's upcoming docuseries Gypsy-Rose, Life After Lockup, opens up to People exclusively in this week's issue. He shares his candid thoughts about what transpired in the 3 months following his pickup of Blanchard from Chillicothe Correctional Center, where she had served more than 8 years of a 10-year sentence for her role in her mother TD's murder. At first, it was good, he remarks. It was just the two of us our first night together after I brought her up from the jail, and I cherished it. I treasure those particular moments. All I wanted was for Gypsy to be home. Even though there was a lot going on, having her in the room with you was wonderful. As the teaser for the new docuseries reveals, a significant portion of those happy early days were documented by cameras, featuring the pair sharing a kiss and Blanchard saying, "I've consummated my marriage." However, according to Anderson, things quickly changed. In an exclusive interview, Gypsy-Rose Blanchard discusses her heartbreaking divorce from Rian Anderson, saying, "It's been hard. At the very beginning of February, I got real sick with COVID, and then I ended up getting bronchitis, and that put me down for about 2-3 weeks," he says. "And then Gypsy got sick, and that's when things started to happen, I guess. Really, that was the low point of our brief marriage." By March, a friend of Blanchard's had previously told People that the couple was on bad terms and had a heated argument. They can be seen fighting in moments from the most recent trailer regarding Blanchard's bond with her ex-fiance Ken Urker. Nevertheless, Anderson claims he was unaware of how miserable his marriage was. Within Gypsy, what went wrong with Rose Blanchard's troubled marriage to Rian Anderson? Private. "I'm blindsided by how fast events took place," he states. "I've given that argument a lot of thought, and I review it. We were experiencing a great deal. That was it. We just got into a fight. Gypsy was actually here for the last time, as it turned out. After that, I only saw her once." Get this week's issue of People on newsstands this Friday or subscribe to the magazine now for more on Gypsy-Rose Blanchard, Ken Urker, and Rian Anderson. Blanchard remarks, "Honestly, I feel like he was going to pop up at some point." Regarding Urker, whom he is currently dating, "He was going to rear his head in some way, and at some point we have to deal with this." Nevertheless, he continues, "The snowball effect developed very quickly. I'm still figuring things out." Gypsy-Rose Blanchard explains how her relationship with her ex-fiance, Ken Urker, blossomed. "He is my first love, reserved only." Anderson disputes rumors that he turned domineering throughout the marriage, saying, "I'm not a bossy person. Gypsy appears to do as she pleases. I didn't check her phone. Instead, I looked at one text message that had my name in it," he continues. "It was the sole item." Anderson claims that despite the fact that restraining orders were obtained in conjunction with the divorce, they were merely formal and their fight was not violent in any manner. "No one has judged me to be harmful. I am able to see Gypsy, and the restraining order is typical." When asked if he misses Blanchard, he responds, "I do, of course. However, I must put myself first. I must continue." Furthermore, he doesn't see a reunion as possible. "She wants to do that because she is in her phase of freedom. I am aware that Gypsy loves me and that I love Gypsy." After divorcing Rian Anderson, the former prisoner and victim of Munchausen syndrome by proxy talks about falling in love anew with Ken Urker. Gypsy-Rose Blanchard is back in love after being locked up. In this week's issue of People, the renowned Munchausen by proxy victim and former prisoner talks candidly about her relationship with her ex-fiance Ken Urker, her heartbreaking divorce from Rian Anderson, and how it will all play out on her upcoming Lifetime documentary Gypsy-Rose, Life After Lockup, which premieres on June 3. Dee Blanchard was in a relationship with Urker, who had first been her pen pal. when she was incarcerated for her part in her mother's murder. Their sporadic connection came to an end years before her 2023 prison release, and he proposed in 2018. However, they've now managed to reconnect with one another. Who is Gypsy? Ken Urker, the boyfriend of Rose Blanchard. Everything about the revival of love. Love looks like spending time and feeling your complete self with another person, Blanchard states. It's so cliché, but it gives you wings. After her marriage to Anderson, whom she married while incarcerated in 2022, collapsed back in March, that is how she feels right now with Urker. Gypsy-Rose's friend previously told People that the couple's split resulted from a heated dispute and that Gypsy-Rose felt her spouse was controlling. Anderson disputes such actions. Ryan Anderson's heartbreaking divorce with Gypsy-Rose Blanchard is revealed. It's been tough. Private. Regarding Urker, he was last seen in late April with Blanchard once more. I bonded with Ken as a buddy. It wasn't like, let me meet up with you after you get out of a marriage and bam, we're in a relationship, she explains. Our friendship had lasted for a very long time. He had a romantic partner. I was living a different life from Ryan in terms of our partners. We were more of a wish you the best kind of person. After their previous failed engagement, Anderson had expressed anxiety about their friendship for a long time, and he made this clear in the previous Lifetime documentary, The Prison Confessions of Gypsy, Blanchard Rose. Additionally, the pair is seen fighting over Ken's continuous presence in her life in the recently published teaser for the upcoming docuseries. Blanchard claims that Urker was the one she turned to after her relationship with Ryan ended. It wasn't until I knew that my marriage was over that I was like, I would like to see you and let's hang out because we never got to hang out before when I was in prison, she recalls. During her split, Ken was that support for me when going through this emotional hardship of crying and then being okay, and then crying, she recounts. After that, I allowed myself to feel the way I've always felt about Ken. Those emotions simply never go away. She continues, Ken is my first love, in my opinion, since that's when I truly felt like a grown-up in love. It was not inspired by a fantasy. In actuality, it was founded on a bond between two individuals. She says Urker will be included in the new docuseries, and she's excited for people to watch their love grow. Regarding Urker's willingness to participate in the documentary series during their most recent visit to New Orleans, she remarks, I'm really grateful to him for being so open to being interviewed. I told you that I wanted you in my life, but that it was up to you whether or not you felt comfortable being on camera. And he says, I'll take care of it. She acknowledges that she has both fans and people who want to see me fail, but she hopes that after viewing, everyone will have a better understanding of her situation. I believe that people will comprehend certain parts of both Ryan's and my perspectives, and that they will conclude by acknowledging that sometimes things simply happen in this manner. That is existence. You to live.